In today's video, we're going to show how to launch and retrieve a Pioner Multi boat. Hello, James Hogan here at Caley Marina, bringing you the best tips and tools on how to build the right Pioner boat for you. On this channel, we do Pioner boat reviews and engine reviews, so you should consider subscribing. If there's a video that you would like to see from us in the future, please feel free to comment below. Here are Caley Marina's essential checklists of how to prepare before launching and retrieving your boat in the water. Number 1 is checking the weather. Make sure you've got suitable weather before you head out onto the water to avoid getting into any difficulty. The next one is to prepare the boat the night before to avoid disappointment in the morning. Before moving, you should check the trailer. Give your trailer a thorough check through before towing. Key areas that you need to look out for are the wheel bearings, the winch, the jockey wheel, the tyres, helpful to have a spare, and the lights. If next to the sea, there can be issues with corrosion for these parts, so it's worth doing these checks to make sure that you're going to be safe when towing. The fuel on the boat itself. Make sure you've got a fresh source of fuel for your boat, as often old fuel can cause issues for both you and your engine when in the water. Strapping down the boat. Try to identify strong areas for tying the boat down, such as the lifting eyes that we've got here in our Pioner Multi. Next check is to make sure your engine is secure to the boat before moving, and it's also advised that any auxiliary engines travel in the car to save any bouncing around when you're travelling down the road. Our penultimate checklist is clothing. The most important clothing to take with you is your life jackets, but you'd also want to take some suitable clothing for your adventure out on the water. Last, but certainly not least, is the keys. The first step to get your boating day rolling is to hitch the trailer onto your car. The first thing is to line up your trailer and your car and make sure you've got a safe space around you to start hitching. When it's safe to do so, reverse back slowly. It is useful to have a partner to guide you, but don't worry if you are alone, as it's not essential. The first thing you do when the car is within hitching distance is to attach the breakaway cable. It is a legal requirement in the UK that this cable is attached. You then start to lower the jockey wheel with the handle lifted. You will lower this jockey wheel until the handle is sufficiently hitched with a click. You can double check the trailer is safely attached by lowering and raising the jockey wheel and checking to see if the car suspension moves when it is attached and lowered and raised. Once satisfied that your trailer is securely hitched, lift and secure your jockey wheel. And plug in the electrics. It's important to do a visual check on the lights before heading off. Step 2 is successfully launching your boat. Make sure to load your boat with any equipment before launching, as it can be a little bit trickier when the boat's floating. Then, before you start to launch the boat, you should unstrap it. Once the boat's strapped, you can start to reverse down the slipway. It is important to stop before your wheel bearings hit the water, as this can cause them to seize, especially in the sea saltwater environment. Before you start to unwind the winch, make sure you have someone on board ready to move. If you're on your own, just make sure you've got a secondary means of securing the boat, such as mooring ropes, so it doesn't float off. Unwind the winch slowly until your boat starts to float. This particular trailer has a breakback feature, which allows an extra angle for ease of launching a boat of this size. When there is enough depth, trim down and start the engine. You can then unhook the winch mechanism and reverse the boat away. Once your boat is fully in the water and secure, make sure you drive your trailer away from the slipway to allow others to have access to the facility if needed. The final step is retrieving your boat. Drive the boat towards the trailer. It is important that you do this in a slow, measured way. Hook the winch mechanism onto the front of the boat, and then you can start winching the boat onto the trailer. As this begins, you can turn off the engine and trim it up. On this particular trailer, you must clip together the breakback system before the boat is fully winched on. The boat must be fully reeled in until the front of the boat is touching the rubber snubbers of the trailer. Pull the boat forward slightly until you have a safe and flat surface to strap down and secure the boat again. The final step is to make sure your propeller is covered before taking off. To learn more tips and tools about Pioneer boats and how to build and buy the right boat for you, consider subscribing.